Hiya guys, and welcome back to A's Workshop. So, title of the episode, AWOL. Okay, I've been missing for over a month, probably 5 weeks by the time this episode goes up. So, let me explain. Okay, typically you see me put a video up once a week, once a fortnight. I might miss the odd week, maybe 3 a month, 4 a month, that sort of thing. I haven't been well. Okay, that's the first one. I do suffer with chest problems and all the rest of it. It's the busy time of year, and I've just been too absolutely exhausted when I come home from work to get in the shed. That was the first course for the first few weeks, and then I had a holiday booked and went over to Ypres in Belgium, which drove over, went on the Eurotunnel. That was exciting. Never been on the tunnel before. It was quite weird to think you're underneath the sea going across the English Channel, as it were, but yeah, I didn't really think about it much. It takes 35 minutes. It was really hot going through. It was a really hot day. All the cars were hot getting into the train that you go on to, and there was no air at all. Anyway, went over there, twofold reasons. Firstly, I made a week of it. I went over to watch a rally. The Ypres rally, one of the premier events in Europe. He really enjoyed that. I don't know if I can show. Let me show. I've got a sticker on the wall. I'll show that now. So stuck on the wall in a prominent position. You probably don't see it normally during videos. JWR, Hyundai Power Products Rally Team. I am affiliated with Hyundai Power Products, but this particular rally, we were in a Rally 2 Fiesta, and JWR, James Williams Rallying. So if you like rallying, guys, have a look at the YouTube channel, James Williams Rallying. And there's another guy that came over when we were in Ypres, Nightingale Rally Media, who got some great footage as well. And if you look on the British Rally Championship for the rally, you might even spot me in the background in some of the shots. So yeah, we went and watched that. So that took up a week of our time. Rally was only the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and recovery day Sunday, that sort of thing. Came back on the Monday. So yeah, that took out a week. But what we did do while we were there, Ypres was like the epicenter of what happened in World War I, 1914 to 1918. So we visited the Flanders Fields Museum in the Cloth Hall, I think they call it, in Ypres, which was quite an experience. So if you're ever in that end of the world, I would strongly recommend you visit that. And it was you came out a bit depressed actually after what went on there, and it brought it all home as to what happened during World War I. There were Canadians, Americans, there was Germans, obviously, British, French, Belgians. It was a horrendous time, and hopefully the world never goes through that sort of thing again. But that said, it was a great trip. The rally went as well as could be expected. I think we learned a lot as a team, as a rally team, from that, and certainly our driver James did as well. So James, if you're watching this, I think there was a lot to be gained from that, even though we had car problems and what have you. So that said, obviously I've come back. This is an AWOL episode. So I'm back now. Let me show you what's been going on since I've been away, basically. So in the last episode I put up, I showed the Mamod. Haven't done much more with it. I did clean in white wine vinegar the relief valve, and it cleaned it up a treat. But as you can see, let me just move the camera. There's a dilapidated box there with another Mamod engine in it. So I'll get it out. I will actually keep the box. I will repair it. Maybe put some card on the inside. I think it's been in the garden shed for years and years. But yeah, I'll fix that up. And let's look at the model inside, which needs a lot of work. Okay, so this one is a Mamod stationary engine. It's coked up big time. I don't know what they've been using as fuel and what have you. I do have the chimney with the Mamod written on it that goes with it. Again, it shares multiple components with the normal engines, but this one's not as old. It's got the steam whistle on it, but it does need a lot of work. So we're going to strip these things to bits, clean them all up. So we've got this one here, And obviously we've got the engine itself here, which I think has had a bit of work over time, but yeah, we're going to rip them to bits, clean every one of the components up, and then see if we can get 2 running engines. So I'm going to start with the easiest bit. Let's have the piston assembly off. So I want to make sure we don't lose the spring here, so I'm going to I can undo this by hand. There is a hexagon on the end. Let's undo it and have the, oh, okay. So we've got a shouldered screw here. It's probably BA with a thread and a little spring. Whoop, and the piston just fell off. Well, we're still under piston assembly. So let's see where that went. Okay, here it is. Is that all of it? Yes. So there's the cylinder. You see the steam port there. That's the threaded bolt. There's a bit of scoring on there. That's probably going to need lapping over. And then there's the cylinder bore. It's a single acting cylinder. So that's that off. That's going to want to clean up. And then secondly, here is, doesn't look too bad. Here's the piston, con rod, big end, or little end, big end. So let's just have a feel how that feels in the bore. It actually feels quite good. There's not too much slop in that. So we're going to call that good. We'll put that to one side. That's that off. Right, where are we? We're in shot. There's a lot of end play in here. That's probably going to want dealing with. Maybe there's meant to be quite a bit of end play, I don't know. I don't think that's going to be a great problem, that end play, but there's a lot of throw this end. I can feel it. Very little this end, but this is the one that gets the axial load. This is just revolving, so yeah, okay. May need to do a bit of work on the hole this end. I can see a screw. Can you see it? There you can. There's a screw here, so I'll get myself a small screwdriver. Let's have a look. Something appropriate for that. Let's try that one. Okay. I don't know if there's a dimple in the shaft or not, so I'll give it a couple of turns. Okay, that's loose. Oh yeah, that came off fairly simply. So there's the flywheel. That's going to need a little bit of paint work, I would have thought. And out with a crankshaft. So there's a bit of paint on the end of there, which probably shouldn't be there. And there is a shim here, a little brass shim. Maybe we need to look at replacing that with a thicker one to stop end float. End float could be removed with a crank, actually, with the flywheel. But what I need to look at is the lineup of the flywheel groove with the spring, drive spring goes with the well, that moves around as well. So yeah, I think we need to look at taking a bit of backlash out of everything here as we go. That runs quite true on there. So anyway, we're starting to take it apart, guys. So there's a couple more components. That put those with the rest of them. Okay, so let's see if I can get the whistle out. That's the next step. It looks really black and ugly, but let's see if I can get that whistle out. Okay, so let's put the whistle tap up. Get that out of the way. Let's just small pair of pliers. See if I can grab it this way. Oh, that moved. Can I unscrew it? Yes, I can. Well, that's good news. Evidence of lime scale and what have you. I think is there a copper washer? There may be a little washer down in here. No, I think that's a bush. Yeah, I think there should be like a little felt O-ring or something. I can see lime scale down in the boiler. I think this is meant to look like brass. So again, details of this, I'm sure this comes apart into individual pieces. We'll look at that separately. So that's that. While I'm at it, let's take the incorrect plug out of the tank. The incorrect fill plug, there's no seal, washer, gasket or anything here. We'll take that out. Right, so next I think wheels and axles. So these little caps seem to be a bit of a sort of press fit, but with a little bit of jiggling. Not too much effort in one go. Working on either side. I can see that one's on the move. It's on the wobble. It must be very close to coming off. Maybe just grab it by the end now. No, I think you need to leave it. If you squeeze on the outside, I think it'll just makes it tighter. There it goes. I did visualize where it's gone, so I can get it. Just get the muck off there. Okay, that's the wheel off. That's the front wheels off. I got to take the spindle out now. So I got a tray of bits so far with the bits I've removed. Let's take it back to the engine. And I've got the engine itself. Corrosion on that shim piece. I've just given this a bit of a polish and a wipe with whatever cloth I've got lying around. This is pretty much corrosion. I'm not sure if I'm going to get that off. Do I want to? I think I'll make it as best as I can get it. The best I can get it. So I'm going to have a play with it, see what I can do, brass wire brush, what have you. The painting on the box here, don't know if it's original, but I'll see what I can do. Now I believe this airbox will come completely off, but I would need to drill out these two pop rivets here, undo these two bolts, and it should pull out. Now there does seem to be a bit of a spacer under here. I'll find out what's going on there when I drill it out and remove that. I don't particularly want to desolder these pipes and play with this bracket. I will polish it all up. Sure, that's going to be fairly simple to do. I will disassemble this valve, and again, as I said, I will put white wine vinegar in the boiler, clean all that out. Now this band here is supposed to be silver, unpainted. I'll have a play with that. I'll probably clean the paint off the entire model and then we'll start again. I do need to find a spanner that'll undo that hexagon there, and then we'll take the front end out. This will all want cleaning up as well. I think this will clean up okay. So yeah, we've got to move forward with this. I've done a bit of messing around, and 5BA spanner. Oh, there's lots of green gunk under there. Right, be careful not to lose this nut. I dropped that on the floor, put it in my little tray. Okay, well, thankfully nothing went dramatically wrong there, like the stud coming out or turning. I guess this soldered onto the back of the tank, I don't know. I'm being gentle with this. They are brass nuts, I can see it underneath the paint. Maybe they should be, no, a little bit more. Maybe they should be brass. Finish, I don't know, or painted. I'll have to have a look on a picture. Let me put that down of the original model. And there. Come on, off you come. There's a little bracket that holds the hood on. So, not too bad under there. Looks like this is painted afterwards. So, yeah, a little burr on there, or paint, what have you. So we need to keep that safe as well. That'll be cleaned up and repainted. So the only thing I can see that holds that firebox in position now other than a bit of a grab on those, is those two rivets. So I think I'll drill those out next. So it did come apart. So the whistle boss sticks up proud of the body slightly. When you take it off, where are we? There's like a keyway in the bottom. So it goes on this way. You have to rotate it 180 and then pull it off so that little slot in there clears that. So that's pretty much the disassembly of that bit. So yeah, we're getting there. This needs the most work, I think. So 3BA spanner on that nut on the top, and the axle where it's a bit snug. Is there something else holding it on? Probably dirt. Yeah, maybe a little spray of WD down in there just to help this come out, but it doesn't want to seem to come out that easily. Oh, we got something else going on here. Ah! Under here we got a nut and a spring. Maybe that unthreads from there. It does. That's why it doesn't pull out. Okay, make sure I don't lose those. Let's just poke those out of there. There's a little spring. There's the nut. Okay. Right, okay. So we're getting down to the nitty-gritty now of disassembly. My question to myself is, do I take the nose off and remove these rivets, take the nose off? I don't know. I may be able to do it in place. I'll have a think about that one. So off camera, I've started removing paint. As you can see, we're back to the brass boiler now. I think I will take the front end off. That's just drilling out rivets. I can get the rivets easy enough if I haven't even already got them, maybe. Yeah, more cleaning, but it's just paint stripping for now, so we've got it back to the bare boiler. I'm actually doing the smoke box now, and there's one other thing. Smoke box? No, the coal scuttle. One other thing, plating on this is shot. So I'm going to put this to the wire wheel and see if I can bring this back. But I can get replacement of the chrome plated part for this, and at some point in its life somebody's painted this with black gloss paint, which is probably not the stuff that it needs. It's supposed to be BHT paint. High temperature paint would be better. I can get that easy enough. Yeah, so I'm going to give this a quick hit on the wire wheel, see if it comes back. If not, I'm going to replace the plated part. So I give this a go. Yeah, I mean, it takes the oxide off, but the plating's shot. So I've just been up the house and ordered a replacement of the plated part for this. So that's sorted. So I need to remove those 4 rivets, strip it to bits, then clean up all the metal part. And I believe this has been painted black gloss as well. That should be done in VHT as well, because there's a lot of heat going on around there. So I'm going to be removing the paint from that, and we'll go from there. So as you can see, I've started on the scuttle, removing paint. It's been painted on the inside. I'll have to get a wire brush on a stick for that. So last face. So as you can see, when I take the paint off, it's a bit rusty underneath, but when the wire wheel's been over it, it removes all of that, and it's ready for some paint. Yeah, you can see it's coming off. Nice and gentle, not pushing hard. Yep. Whoops, careful, eh? Bring it back when we're done. So as you can see, taking it apart, I think this is now disposable. I could probably, if I could buy this plated, I could probably make these. Anyway, that's another story. So yeah, it's in its 2 bits. This needs cleaning up, much the same as I did with the smoke box. No, the scuttle. That's the smoke box. You know, it needs a real good clean. So yeah, strip all the paint off that, and I think we're starting to get places now. So I think we're going to call it for today. Had enough on it, cleaned up, you know, stripped it to bits, cleaned up a bit. So thinking on what sort of restoration do I do on this? Do I get all the original paints, stay with all the original, just try and like remake it with patina as it was original, but all working and nice and clean and new paint? Or do I go for the blingy restoration where it looks like brand new? I think I'm somewhere between the two. I think I know the route I'm going. That was sort of separate one, bling it up. Or do I modify it, put bells and whistles on it, as it were? So I'm bidding on a canopy for it, for the TE1. It is different to the TE1A slightly. It depends on the age of it. There's a few ideas. So what I'm going to do is not go with the original colours. I've seen a mod, whether it was a special edition or not, of a Fred Dibner version of it, sort of all black and brass and that sort of idea, and I like the look of that. I will put the rubber tyres on. I've actually got to order a set of those. So yeah, I'm not going to keep it original. I mean, these things are not worth a fortune. If it was worth a lot of money in original condition with patina, then I probably would have just restored it to be a working example of one of these early models. But it's not worth a lot of money at all. So I just want it to look sweet, and you know, if it's on the shelf with my petrol engine and my Stuart Models engine, then it's going to look nice. And again, oh, I got the third one here. Hang on, where is it there? The third one, or the second one there. I think that's just going to want a damn good strip down and a damn good clean. I think that's all that's going to need. So we'll see how it goes. So I'm going to call it a day for this one, guys. As usual, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and we'll see you all very soon. Cheers now.